Hello, happy Thursday. What we're gonna do today is a functional balance class. So what does functional balance mean? Functional balance just basically means a set of balance exercises that are dynamic. So helping you practice movement and holding on to balance through movement, which is also going to help you in your activities of daily living. So what do we need for functional balance? Basically nothing aside from a chair. If you're super new to balance, I would recommend having something to hold on to. A wall is fine. And then a mat. So making sure that you have plenty of space around you, no tripping hazards, nothing like that. And then I always recommend doing balance exercises barefoot. The reason for that is if you have a large cushioned shoe or any kind of shoe, it kind of prevents you from using your natural balance. It helps you with your balance, which is a great thing when you're walking and stuff like that. But we want to make sure that we're able to kind of utilize all those little muscles in our feet and spread out our toes so that we can really increase our surface area. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our warm-up, and then we'll talk about the class today. So let's go ahead and start with a half jack just to warm up the blood, get the blood pumping. So half jacks are just basically a half jumping jack. So follow my lead. You can do full jumping jacks if you want. That's totally up to you. Excellent. Really take that arm across, leg all the way out. Fabulous. Reach nice and tall over. A couple more seconds here. Keep that breath going. Excellent. Let's go ahead and 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and get into some ankle circles. So we're gonna practice some ankle mobility. We're gonna be using our ankles a lot. So if you need to hold on to a chair, my number one rule is 1 or 2 fingers, right? So whenever we're doing balance, I don't want you relying on that chair because that's cheating. You didn't come here to do that. So 1 or 2 fingers if you need it for support. And we're gonna go ahead and take that left ankle, we're gonna roll it out just to get all the snap, crackle, pops all figured out and mobilize it, getting it all warmed up for today's class. Switch directions if you need to. Awesome. And then go ahead and switch sides. So right side, roll that ankle out. You can go whatever direction you feel is best for you. Sometimes one direction feels a little better than the other when it comes to those ankles, but as long as you're rolling it out, getting it all warmed up. Excellent job. A couple more seconds here on this right leg, and then we're gonna move on to the rest of our warm-up. Excellent. All right, now let's work on the hips. So take those feet a little wider than your hip distance apart, and we're just gonna work on some hip rotation. So hands on the hips, go ahead and nice, big, slow motion, working out the hip joint. Every single part of our leg is necessary for balance, right? We use our hips, our quads, our hamstrings, our knees, our ankles, our calves. I don't know, I'm probably missing a whole bunch, but we want to make sure everything is warmed up and also everything that is engaged. So when we're working through these exercises, squeeze those muscles. It's really going to help. We'll talk about that, of course. Go ahead and switch directions if you haven't already. Nice and slow. Excellent job. Okay, last part of our warm-up are calf raises. So again, use that chair if you need to. 1 or 2 fingers is the rule. Feet hip distance apart. Come up on those toes, hold, and come down. Just working out the calf muscles. We're gonna be doing an exercise very similar to this today, so this will give you some good balance practice. So if you are new to balance, like I said, you have your chair, you have your wall, and if you are more advanced to balance, I have some more advanced modifications for you today. So this is an all levels class. Really, like I said, we're just working on function. We're working on, working on that balance that's just gonna help us with our everyday life. So let's do 2 more calf raises here and we'll get into it. Last one. Excellent, shake those legs out, grab some water, do what you need to do. I'm gonna walk through each exercise as we go. So we have 6 exercises, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. So your goal today is I give you the time, you determine what you do at that time. If you wanna go for as many reps or repetitions as possible for the exercise, amazing. If you really wanna work on holding that balance, that's great, as long as you're moving for the 40 seconds, okay? So our first exercise is around the world toe taps. So we're gonna start with the left leg as our traveling leg. Our right leg is our supporting leg. You have the chair if you need it. If not, hands on the hips or out to the side. We're gonna take that left leg, we're gonna tap in front, we're gonna tap to the side, tap behind, and then a curtsy tap where you're kind of tapping the other direction. Then we go behind, side, and front. We're gonna do that for 40 seconds. Our 40 seconds starts in 5 seconds. So the goal here is really stay on that right supporting leg, squeeze your muscles. Let's go ahead and begin. So front, side, behind, and then curtsy, and then you make yourself back around. Really hold on, try to just tap that toe, right? So that you're mostly supporting on that right leg. Fabulous. This is a great balance warm-up exercise. So even if you're in the kitchen as you're cooking and you just need a little something to practice some balance, here's your exercise. Keep it going, 15 seconds left. Then we'll switch to the right side. If you start to lose your balance, it's okay. Clearly, I just did. I don't know if you noticed, but I did. I'll be honest with you. Excellent. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake those legs out. 20 seconds of rest here, then we get into the right leg. So as you go through these, as you're engaging those muscles, you're gonna start to feel some warmth and some soreness or just some fatigue in those muscles. That's normal, just making sure that you are holding onto that balance the best you can, okay? Let's go ahead and switch sides. Left leg is supporting, right leg is traveling. 3, 2, and 1. So we go front, side, I gotta scoot up a little, behind, and then curtsy. Excellent. Keep it going. Really try to keep your whole body facing forward. Squeeze those leg muscles. Excellent. 20 seconds left here. You'll notice as we do these isolated movements, which means we are doing it on one side of the body only, you'll start to notice which side is stronger, which side needs a little help. And then you can kind of go from there in your training and figure out which side needs more attention. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent job, Mighty Family. Shake those legs out. Exercise 1 is done. Next, we're gonna do some side steps. So we're practicing stepping out and catching our balance and stepping in and catching our balance. This is an amazing functional balance exercise. So you're gonna start with the left leg traveling. We're gonna take a wide side step, catch yourself. Come back in, catch yourself. The challenge here is step out, and then as you step in, that traveling leg doesn't touch, okay? So you're holding onto that right side, you're stepping out, and you're coming back in. Remember, you have your chair next to you, and let's go ahead and get started. So big step out with that left leg, coming back in, catching yourself if you need to, or hovering that traveling leg. Excellent, 40 seconds here. Really spread your toes open on that right leg, that supporting leg. That's gonna help increase your surface area there. And take your time with this. That's why we're doing timed exercises versus repetitions, right? I'm giving you a goal of time. You can take your time. Excellent job, Mighty Family. Couple more here, couple more seconds here. Catching yourself. It's okay if you wobble a little. 3, 2, last one here. Excellent job, shake those legs out. Awesome, 20-second rest. Now we go to the other side. So again, you might find left leg is stronger than the right side or vice versa. Totally fine, we're all like that. None of us have equal balance on either side. So pay attention to that as you go along. Hands on the hips or out to the side, and let's begin. Right leg is traveling, you're catching yourself, and then you're pushing off and catching yourself. Excellent. Try to make that step as wide as possible. That's only gonna increase your challenge with your balance as you're pushing off. Awesome job, Mighty Family. Stay nice and tall, squeeze that core. If you're squeezing everything throughout your body, you're more stable. You're more likely to not be so floppy and wobbly, okay? So hold on to that core engagement, that muscle engagement. Excellent job, Mighty Family. 10 seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome, shake those legs out. Let's take a minute, roll those ankles out here. So this next exercise is a tightrope walk. So we're gonna start at one end of our mat or one end of your room. We're gonna walk heel to toe, right? This sounds very simple, but it's not once you get going. And if you need a challenge, change your direction of gaze, right? You can look up, look to the side, look down. That's really gonna help. Then we're gonna take steps back. So whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and begin. 40 seconds starts now. Heel to toe, hands on the hips or out to the side will help you. Take a few steps forward, and then a few steps back. Really try to pretend like you're walking on a tightrope here. Now, if you need a challenge, get up on your tippy toes, okay? So on your tippy toes, walk in a straight line. You can come back down and then back up on those tippy toes. Excellent. Ooh, that's a little challenging. 10 more seconds, mighty family. Let's do one more stretch here on that tightrope. And back. Fabulous. Excellent. Shake those legs out. That is another great one to practice as you're watching TV or you have a commercial come on. Tightrope walks are great. So next exercise, standing hamstring curls. This is where I would suggest having a chair, but again, if you're a little bit more advanced with balance, you might not need it. So grab onto that chair, start with that left leg. We're gonna curl up, heel to your butt, and then you're gonna come back down, stepping down and gaining traction if you need it, or heel up and then back down, not touching the ground. That's your little bit of a modified challenge, okay? So if you're holding onto that chair, 1 or 2 fingers only, let's begin, 40 seconds. Left leg up, holding it, and coming down. Now, if you start holding onto the chair and you wanna challenge yourself, just take that hand up. It's totally fine if you have to come back down to that chair. No problem at all. Excellent. You're going to feel lots of tightness and warmth in that supporting leg. We're using lots of muscles here to support our balance. Awesome job, mighty family. 10 seconds here. Try to get that heel as close as you can to your glute muscle, your butt muscle. 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. If you need to rub out that right side, the hamstring probably is a little warm right now, the quads, go ahead. We've got 10 seconds. We're gonna get into the right side this time, okay? So same thing, just practicing holding on with that supporting left leg this time. Let's go ahead and begin. Right side this time comes up and back down. Again, 1 or 2 fingers on that chair. And if you want to challenge yourself, that right leg does not touch the ground. Excellent job, mighty family. Deep breaths, stay nice and tall here, engage that core. Fabulous. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Get one more in there. There we go. Shake those legs out. 2 more exercises. You guys are doing awesome. I know our legs are probably super fatigued by now, but we're gonna head into what we call heel to toe rock. So this is a little bit challenging. I would recommend having that chair next to you, but we're gonna work on calf and shin strength, which is super crucial to our balance. So we're gonna take our feet shoulder width apart. We're gonna come up on our toes and hold. Then we're gonna come down and rock back on our heels. So bring those toes up and then hold and come back up. Okay, so heel to toe rocks, have that chair close to you if you need it. Let's go ahead and begin. 3, 2, and 1. So up on those toes, hands on the hips or out to the side helps. Back on the heels, up on the toes. Don't worry about getting your toes up off the ground too much. See, as we fall backwards there. It doesn't have to come up very far, just enough to where you're rocking back on your heels and you're coming back up. Excellent. You have your chair there if you need it. Really working on that stability here. Fabulous job. 10 seconds. Keep moving. Slight bend in the knee here. Try not to lock your knees. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Shake those legs out. That's a little bit of a doozy on those calf muscles. So make sure to stretch those out. We'll do some stretching after this, but a little extra stretching if you need it. So last and final exercise of today is very similar to our side steps, but this time we're doing long forward lunges. So what this looks like is we're going to start with our left leg traveling. We're going to take a big step forward into a long lunge, and we're going to push off and come back to that supporting leg. So again, practicing catching yourself through movement, this time just forward and back. So let's go ahead and get set up. Feet are gonna start together for this one, hands on the hips or out to the side, and go ahead and begin with that left leg. Big step forward, catch yourself, and then push off and catch yourself. Now your challenge again is not letting that traveling leg touch when you come back together. If you need to let it touch, totally fine. Excellent. If you're wobbly, it's fine. We're probably all a little wobbly right now, being very far into this class. Great job, Mighty Family. Woo, 10 seconds. Really practice pushing off with that leg. 3, see if you can get one more in. 2, and 1. Awesome job, shake those legs out. Last and final exercise, same thing, just on that right side. So that right leg is traveling, left leg is supporting. We're gonna go ahead and begin here in about 10 seconds. Take a breath, grab some water. Not a lot of heart rate intensity going up today, but lots of small muscle happening. So you might feel it a little bit tomorrow. So go ahead and get set up to start, feet together. Right leg steps forward, catch yourself, and then you push back and catch yourself. So nice and slow here. Try to take that step nice and wide. You push back, allow yourself to catch yourself. Excellent. I find myself a little bit more wobbly here as my left leg is supporting. That's okay. Back together. No cheating. Don't go right into the next step. 10 seconds. Let's get one more lunge in here. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job, Mighty Family. Shake those legs out. Ooh, you might not feel it right now, but you'll definitely feel it probably later today or tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get into some stretches that'll help kind of stretch out a lot of those little muscles that we use. So we're gonna start with the hamstring stretch. You'll wanna use your chair for this, or you can definitely use the floor. I'll show you both. So we're gonna start with that left leg up on the chair, feet, toes facing up. We're just gonna lean into it, okay? So really feeling that nice stretch in the hamstring, a little bit of the calves. If you don't have a chair or a couch nearby, you do the same thing on the ground. It's just a little tougher on that lower back. So you choose what's best for you. Go ahead and stretch out that hamstring. Excellent, switch sides. Right side this time, up on that chair. Lean into it, keep that leg nice and straight. So just as important as doing these balance exercises are strength training, stretching, just as important. They all kind of create this full circle for balance. So as you're doing these balance classes, pair that with a little bit of lower body strength training and some stretching too. That's gonna help a lot. Go ahead and bring that leg up off the chair. You can move that chair. Actually, we're gonna use the chair for our next stretch. So sit down in that chair or on the couch, take a seat anywhere. We're gonna do some hip figure 4 stretches. So bring that left leg up on top of the right leg, and you're just gonna push down on that knee, creating a little bit of tension in that outer part of the hip. So no pain, don't push down to where you feel pain, just until you feel that nice stretch. Big deep breaths here. And go ahead and switch sides. So if you are new to balance, or you're just starting to reignite your balance routine, do this class multiple times. It'll be on demand here in a few weeks. We also have a couple intro to balance and balance for strength programs. Do these classes and challenge yourself each time. Challenging yourself meaning try to do them a little bit quicker, or adding some weights for resistance as you're doing some of these balance exercises. So that is my challenge for you as you kind of navigate this balance space, and practice it daily. Even as you're at the kitchen sink, do some of those heel to toe rocks or tightrope blocks. Excellent job. Go ahead and release that hip. Let's do some knee hugs. So we're gonna take a little seat forward in our chair, grab that knee, pull it to your chest, and then roll that ankle out, just releasing any extra tension we have in that ankle. The beauty of doing balance exercises is you can do them, we're doing them barefoot, so you really can do them anywhere, even before you go to bed or when you wake up. Go ahead and switch sides. Right side to the chest, roll that ankle out. Excellent job, Mighty Family. Go ahead and release. If you need extra time to stretch, please take it. But thank you so much for joining me for today's functional balance. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week.